AITA, am I the asshole for refusing to give my parents money? I'm a 19-year-old F with 6 older siblings. My parents spent most of my childhood spending money they didn't have on my siblings, so by the time I hit my teenage years, I realized I was probably going to have to fend for myself financially when I turn 18. I started babysitting and doing odd jobs around my neighborhood when I was 14, and eventually got part-time jobs during the school year. By the time I was 16, I was working 3 jobs in the summer and 2 in addition to school. When my parents told me they couldn't pay for college, I'd already earned enough, along with scholarships, to be able to put myself through college and have plenty left over. I've continued to work during the school year, and have been able to make money during quarantine by tutoring online. The issue began a few months ago, when my eldest sister, 29F, got married. My parents spent 30 grand on her wedding, taking out a second mortgage to do so. To make matters worse, my dad was furloughed 6 days after the wedding. They'd effectively dug themselves into a hole they couldn't get out of. 2 weeks ago, my mom texted me for the first time since the wedding. She didn't say hi, ask how I was, or make any small talk. She just said, "Your dad and I need a favor. When can we call you?" I'd expected this. None of my elder siblings are doing well financially, and they've exhausted all other loan options, both from family and the bank. I figured they would text me, ask me to loan them a few thousand, and promise to pay it back when they could figure things out. I was absolutely willing to pitch in a few thousand, and had even considered giving them some of my tutoring jobs so they could make some extra cash. I was not, however, expecting them to demand I give them all the money, close to $40,000, I'd made from the ages of 14 to 18. The exact statement my mom had made was, "You made that money under our roof. We were the ones who allowed you to work, so you only have it because of us anyway. We bought you food and clothes for 18 years. That money is only a fraction of what you owe us," and so on. I said that food, clothes, and shelter were the very minimum, it's what they signed up for when they chose to become parents, I didn't ask for any of it, etc. They responded by telling me that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the life I have today. I said they were being ridiculous, and hung up. Since that day, both, along with 2 of my siblings, have continuously hounded me about giving them what is rightfully theirs. My siblings, who have never been asked to give them money, are still professing that it's my job as their kid to take care of them. I told them they wouldn't see a cent of my hard-earned money, and have no right to make such a request. I'm torn. I feel awful for refusing to help them out, but on the other hand, this was their fault. I feel I shouldn't be responsible for fixing their mess. Am I the asshole? NTA. Not the asshole. Their poor financial choices are not your fault or problem, speaking purely based on you being a separate person. The fact that they expect this from their own child is downright disgusting. I'm so sorry that you're being put through this. Piggybacking on the top comment to say, make sure all accounts holding money do not have a parent's name on them. Lots of 20-year-olds still have their parents on their accounts from when they were younger and it was legally required, who just never changed things over. With the level of entitlement shown, $30K for a wedding, but asking you for $40K for living as a child. I wouldn't put it past them to just attempt to take it directly. And congratulations on seeing your parents' mistakes and working for financial freedom. Okay, first of, even if they had gone above and beyond for you in your childhood and also paid your way through college, you wouldn't be tough for refusing to give them money. Parents caring for their kids financially is what parents do, it's not something that needs to be made up for once you've grown. If that were the case, then it seems to me your sibling have a lot of paying back to do. You're NTA, and don't let them hound you until you give in, because they'll end up milking you dry and putting you in the same situation and them and your siblings. Gosh, I hate parents who see their kids as a piggy bank. Nope, NTA, and I would block anyone coming at you with any nonsense of owing them. You don't need that kind of energy in your life. You're right, they chose to have you. Which includes providing for you for at least 18 years, which they clearly didn't even do if you had to start working at 14. Their irresponsibility is not your responsibility. Oh, another, don't light yourself on fire to keep others warm. Just because they did it, doesn't mean you should. I'm sorry you have just a family. The beauty of adulthood is finding people that enrichen your life, and cutting out those who don't. You get to choose your tribe. No one is entitled to being in your life just because you share some DNA. Don't in any circumstances give them any money. You are not the asshole. You seem like the smartest in the family. Imagine the audacity to demand money as repayment for raising you the last 18 years. Like that's not what parents are supposed to do when they have a child. If I was in your position, I would cut all ties from all family members. I think the fact that the first contact they have with you after not seeing them for a while is a request for money, which then turned into a demand. That should tell you everything you need to know about these people. NTA. Ever. WTF. Do not give them a dime. You worked your ass off because they couldn't/wouldn't manage their finances and children properly. They were legally obligated to feed and clothe you for 18 years because you were a minor. You earned money in preparation for being neglected and forgotten once they were no longer obligated to look after you. They wasted money on your sister for no damn reason. Yes, I know, wedding, a mortgage for a wedding is no damn reason. Saying this as a female who would love to be married one day. I would never put my parents or even myself into financial hardship for a fancy wedding, and they dug themselves into that hole. Please tell me you're living somewhere on your own and not in any way, shape or form ever going to be required to live with them again. Hold up. You're 19? And they couldn't assist you in any way with the cost of your education. But they remortgaged their home to pay for your 28-year-old sister's wedding? NTA. Don't give them a dime. You are NTA. That is frocking outlandish that they would even say that to you. Info, why do you have a relationship with these people? NTA, do not give them your life savings. You are flush now, which is great for someone just starting their life. Get the college education you saved for. Keep a little nest egg to put money down on a house. Maintain your savings to bail yourself out one day, if you find yourself out of work. A small loan in my family never turned out to be a loan, and never turned out to be a one-time thing. If you can from this point forward, avoid telling your family what you make and what is in your savings. NTA, that's ridiculous really. I mean, come on, you lived here as a minor, so give us 40 to cover the 30K we dropped on your sister. They have serious issues and need to learn how to manage their money. NTA, and please tell me they don't have access to your bank accounts. There are too many posts on here from young adults whose parents emptied their bank accounts. Change your passwords and update security questions so they are not easily answered by your family. Protect yourself. Lock down your credit. They have your SSN, and if you are in the US, you'd be amazed how easy it is to open credit just with an SSN and a date of birth. Do it before they steal your identity. $30,000 for a wedding? That's mind-blowingly irresponsible. And what is their plan for when your other 5 siblings get married? Are they going to ask you for money after each of those weddings too? What about when your siblings have kids? Or their car breaks down? Or they lose their job? They are setting a precedent, and if you don't hold firm now, you are going to be financially responsible for your family for the rest of your life. And let me clear. It will never be enough. They won't love you anymore. They won't respect you anymore. They won't see you as a role model. They won't be any more proud of you. They will see you as an ATM, and when that ATM runs out of cash, you will be blamed for being irresponsible and you will be abandoned. Do not give them a dime. Be absolutely firm. AITA. You saved $40,000 while a teenager? Holy cow. What your parents should be saying is, honey, we are so proud of you for working so hard. You acted with the discipline and financial intelligence that many adults struggle with. You have so much to be proud of. I'm proud of you. I hope you're proud of yourself. Something that this money should go toward: therapy. It is hard on a person to have to grow up so fast. The mental and emotional practices you learn to survive can turn into destructive habits toward yourself and your relationships. Please take wonderful care of yourself. AITA. Please don't give them any money. Your parents made financial decisions so stupid I can't comprehend it. My toddler spent the change in his birthday pig banky more responsibly than they did. And on top of that, they had 7 kids who they have apparently raised to be just as irresponsible and entitled, with the exception of you. You worked for that money. That is your money. I could see helping with a light bill or some groceries, but they are trying to extort you. AITA. Tell that sister who used $30,000 of their money on her wedding to pay that back before contacting you again. AITA. Also, with parents like yours, you can't loan them money. You can give them money, if you want, but you'll never see it again, no matter what they promise. And if you don't want to give them money, you don't have to. You don't owe them a thing. In a way, they've done you a favor by demanding such a ludicrous amount when you were willing to give them a smaller one. They would have kept asking for more, and who knows what the balance would have been before you cut them off then. Sorry they're so horrible though. AITA. They paid $30,000 for a wedding and not a cent to your college education? Forget that noise. Insult to injury if they paid any money to any of the others' educational or young adult costs. Technically, your sister owes them more than you do by a long shot. You were quite right. Parents take on an obligation, legally, by producing a child. The child does not sign a contract at birth for all expenses plus time and effort. AITA. The money is yours, you earned it. You're exactly right that food, clothes and shelter are the bare minimum. Make sure that your parents can't access your accounts, and if you can, put most of your money into something like a money market account or CD account. Higher interest rates and some restrict how often you can access the money, meaning the excuse of, well, I can't get to it right now would be a thing. Or just lie and tell them you lost it all gambling or something.